Hey guys, welcome to Film Camp Episode 2. I am your counselor, Elliott, and I'm with my 3 ACs.
Critter.
Oh, a big boy?
And Alex.
You're the only one with a normal name. Come on.
Well, no, we're
I'm
the
Elliott.
Well, that's your middle name.
we're the ACs.
That's
so
also true.
we have weird names because we're ACs.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyways. So, Film Camp, as we said, the second episode, this is where this is very film-centered, just talk about movies, and eventually we will talk specifically about one movie that we all saw, except for Critter, but we'll get to that later. It's going to be about Justice League and probably the DC universe, but as always, we always start these off with movie news.
oh.
Wow. Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I didn't. I would be.
Glad to see you listen to our first one.
I did.
Yeah, we talked about news.
Well, I skipped through that.
Okay. Who has some news?
Really, the latest news is that the movie Coco.
Oh, yeah?
You guys know that? Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
is that-
apparently
is-
it's super good.
Is that Disney Pixar?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pixar.
I guess that is just about to pass Justice League in the box office. Yeah.
It's been out for like, what time is it? It's been out for almost 23 hours now.
Yeah. Well, that's like, when Civil War came out, like a month after Dawn of, the Batman vs Superman movie came out, it
Oh, yeah?
it passed it
Yeah.
like easily.
Did it really?
It passed.
yeah.
It passed what? What passed what?
Captain America: Civil War passed Batman vs Superman,
Well,
and-
yeah, Batman versus Superman was awful.
and it was in theaters for like a month before Civil War came out, and
It's
then
like
just
in
June.
its opening weekend, it passed Batman vs. Superman
Right.
Wow.
in the entire run.
Well, I mean, but Coco, I feel like that any movie, like anytime a Disney Pixar movie is going to be in theaters, it's always going to be.
Well, if you think about
the
it,
running.
it came out Thanksgiving weekend, meaning a lot of people are in town ready to see a movie. You know,
Especially if it's Disney Pixar families.
and families. So when a family goes, you don't just buy a ticket for 2 people. You buy a ticket for the dad, the mom, the older kids,
Right.
the kids that want to see it, and then their friends, whatever. So you get
Yeah.
a lot of.
How did
Yeah.
Moana do? Opening weekend.
It.
Curious.
Let me look it up.
Or
I
opening
don't-
whenever it.
I really don't
whenever
think
it-
any Disney Pixar movie had a bad opening weekend.
That wasn't Pixar.
Moana.
Moana is
No.
Disney.
Oh, you're right. It's just Disney. Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
But still, it'd be
Oh well,
interesting
never
to check.
mind.
Yeah, Critter and I were talking a little bit about Moana. We thought it was good. Did we talk about Moana on a
It's
film
good.
camp already? I thought it was
I think
good.
so.
I thought it was a little not as good as everyone was saying it was.
Yeah, I think only 2 songs that I really liked, and everything else was.
They the whatever the main song was.
That one's
the-
good.
It was
Which
good,
one?
but they reprised it like 8 times throughout the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
They
How far
sang
I'll
it
go.
so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They.
I feel like
so-
musicals do that.
Yeah, musicals reprise their songs,
Yeah,
but they
especially modern day
reprise
ones.
theirs like it was like 8 or
Yeah.
9 times.
Would
So
you
it's-
classify Moana as a musical?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
like a Disney musical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney musicals don't do it that much though.
No,
That's-
Disney musicals, they
Do they? Do they?
Oh my
reprise
god,
that?
yeah. Because think about like I almost had Let It Go just as the movie, but Frozen. There's like 4 songs that whole movie.
Yeah.
And Let It Go's. I've never seen that movie.
Four big songs. I only saw it once.
Yeah.
Love is an Open Door.
Have not seen the ending. But go ahead.
That one. Let It Go, and then I don't remember the.
Yeah, there's
The one Olaf has one
Yeah. But like
that he sings.
they don't sing. They don't do a lot of songs anymore. Whereas before, it's like you can remember a bunch of songs from like Aladdin.
Was it?
and-
Are you
Yeah,
in
dude.
there? It was
Yeah.
some-
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, that
Well, I
one.
guess I wasn't really
Oh.
thinking of Frozen when I said
So there's
Disney
3.
musicals. I was thinking more of
No,
like,
4.
Aladdin
There's
stuff.
Let It Go, Love's
Let
an
It-
Open Door. Do
Let
you
It
wanna
Go,
build a
Love's an
snowman?
Open Door. Do you want to build a snowman?
There's more than 4. I just
I know.
it was
Those
hard
are
to-
there's like the main ones.
Yeah.
just
Do you want to build a snowman?
of the opening weekend for Moana was $56,631,401.
56 million.
I said
Yeah, you said dollars twice.
I know. I'm owning up to it.
$2.
They made a lot
That's
of dollars
Pretty good for an opening weekend.
compared to. Let's see what Justice League did. Well, I'm doing that. Oh, I just
did
saw
more than
something.
50.
What
56.
what is the what is a good opening weekend for a movie? What is like
Yeah,
in the
because
ballpark?
I have no
what do they
I have
want
no clue.
Well,
I feel like any time you double your budget, right?
Yeah.
That'd be like really good, right?
yeah, yeah. If it's considered successful if they can make more than their budget back. I think right now with the way that Justice League is going, they're slated to lose about $100 million.
Oh, But I don't want to say that because some they would say, "Oh, that did bad in the box office" when they only made like $2 million more than their budget. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, but still, to lose $100 million.
Yeah.
That's
I know it's different, but
That's
I'm saying
considered a flop.
I wouldn't say a movie that said, "Hey, we just over our budget, we got $2 million," would say it's successful. I don't think everybody would say that's successful.
So let's hear. What has the best opening weekend of all time? Is it still the Star Wars?
Oh,
Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let me check
Was it
here.
that?
I think so.
I know. Somehow, Jurassic World got in there into that talk.
Oh yeah. So
What?
Star
Yeah.
Wars, The Force Awakens, the Force Awakens, opening as the best opening weekend with, let's see here, $247,966,675. I think that's just domestic, because worldwide the record holder is Fate of the Furious with $551,937,239.
Yep, I forgot
Yeah,
about
Fate
that.
of the Furious,
I forgot
is that-
that.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
is that a Fast and Furious
Yeah.
franchise?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how.
Okay, so this is a little startling. I'm looking at this list, and you would figure that box office flops are going to be bad movies, right?
Yeah.
The first one is like the 13th Warrior. I haven't even, and then the second one was 47 Ronin, that like samurai Keanu Reeves movie.
Well, that was the whole. I'm sure that it would have been good if they said the studio stepped in on a lot of stuff,
Right.
and on the actors and all that stuff. That's why I hear about it. I
And-
feel like a lot of good movies are ruined because of.
Studio interference.
Yeah,
Studio-
We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
With, about Spider-Man 3.
hmm
Yeah.
About how Sam Raimi
Oh yeah.
could have, but he wanted to stick with Venom, right?
No, he didn't.
No,
want to
he
do
just
that.
wanted to do Sandman. Yeah, he did not. Sam Raimi apparently did not want to do Venom at all in Spider-Man 3.
Like he didn't want to play Venom, or he didn't want it in the film.
Topher Grace played Venom in the movie.
No, I know that.
Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in the movie at all.
That's
he
what
just
okay,
wanted to
wow,
focus
I
on
didn't know that.
Sandman. Yeah.
Well,
And
But see, that's cool. That's a cool villain, but I understand where the studio. I understand. I don't say I agree with what the studio's like. Hey, we want money. The best money maker is Venom.
Yeah.
Like it straight up
Right.
is Venom. That's
Well,
like
why-
the most popular one.
But why not just give him a solo movie? And they are giving it to him, and Tom Hardy's going to be playing Venom.
Because they want to see Spider-Man beat up Venom.
I get,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think the kind of thing that we're kind of going for though with why it kind of didn't work out in that favor was because like he didn't want to put Venom in the movie, so he didn't care about the project.
Yeah.
And that's how we got
Absolutely.
things like the emo dance scene.
Yeah. You absolutely see that a lot though. Like the studio do something, and you see that in video games too.
Yeah.
Or you see that it just sucks, man. You can't get a full project, especially when you get like a bunch of executive producers. Like, oh, I want this, I want that,
Yeah.
I want that, please.
This might be a stupid question, but apart from Suicide Squad, what movies are there where it's just the villain? It's the villain's movie.
They were gonna do it. We just talked about Sinister Six. They were gonna do it, but that
Yeah.
Spider-Man universe sucked, so they were gonna do that. But other than that,
I don't think there really has been.
oh, yes,
Is
Elektra. Elektra.
Despicable Me.
Well,
Electra's not a villain though.
she's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
Meg-
but
So
she's-
I mean, you can say
Megamind,
this-
I guess.
Megamind was great.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really.
No.
If we're being serious here, like legit, like Marvel,
Doctor
DC.
Horrible. I mean, what? That
No,
was
I know
like
you're
I mean,
right.
it was
Yeah,
very. I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was really well done and
It
like.
was.
No, it's a good movie, but like in the Marvel or DC universe, is there a movie where
That
it's
follows
just
just the villain.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
except
think
for
so.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think Suicide Squad did it.
okay? Well, before we get too off track,
Catwoman, but that's not a villain either.
oh
that's
god,
that's
well
an
that was a
anti-hero.
villain of a movie. That
She's
was
just kind of her own
awful.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A movie that's on this list of like the biggest box office flops, the one that lost 80. This movie lost $80 million. Apparently, I don't know how recent this movie is, but Blade Runner 2049
But yeah, it's considered
is
a flop.
a flop.
Yeah,
Did it
Aw,
lose money?
man.
I swear it got more than.
it did very well. Like it has a lot of good critical response, but not enough people went to go see it in theaters. So
Dude, I love that. That's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
It's, oh yeah.
Is it good?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so
I
good.
think the record holder for biggest flop for a while was John Carter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. That's.
Oh, John
Oh,
Carter.
Wait,
this
so-
is. I'm sorry. This list is for some reason this is listed alphabetical and not by biggest.
here.
Yeah, biggest loss. But John Carter's definitely up there.
Can you rearrange it?
Oh, and so is Waterworld.
Oh, Waterworld.
Gosh.
Didn't that get Oscar now? Like nods,
Waterworld?
though? Yeah.
I don't know. Waterworld is like I feel like that every couple of years there's the Avatar. Or no, I'm sorry. There's the Wizard of Oz. Like the Wizard of Oz is the most famous movie, and then a couple of years passed. Like so, 2009 was Avatar was like the Wizard of Oz. It's like the movie that is the biggest. Sure. Titanic was another one of those stuff. And Waterworld and Waterworld was the movie that people were.
What year did that come out?
But it was a flop.
95. Oh God, yeah.
So how is that the movie that everybody's like, oh yeah, when it's a flop?
I guess the producers just sucked getting it out there because this was in 1995. Waterworld was the record breaker for most expensive movie, and so and so I guess they didn't.
The fact that it was a flop probably made it like the movie. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like the fact that have you ever seen a movie so like The Room?
The movie that's so bad.
That movie is so bad is like is why everyone knows it.
But that's just because you have to wait for after the fact that when it comes out. I'm talking like the gearing up to the movie that everyone's gonna be lining up to see. But but you make a good point though. It's like and so do you, big boy. Like if that was going to be the Wizard of Oz in 1995, you figured that it wouldn't have been a flop. Everyone would have seen it. But,
I see what you're saying. It was the movie before it came out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But I guess it was just. I mean, it was. I think back in that, like I said, it was the movie because I think this one broke a record for the most expensive movie ever made until 2 years later when Titanic was made.
Yeah. Jeez. And that's what happened with John Carter also. It was one of the most expensive movies ever made.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah, John Carter was...
Did Avatar break that record?
No, John Carter was made after Avatar.
No, yeah, it was.
You're right.
The cost to actually make it was...
Was John Carter more expensive than Avatar?
I may have been. Let me look up because it was like... It was like a ridiculous number. But while it's going on, let's talk about something else. Box office.
Well, we were talking about Disney Pixar films.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Oh, Toy Story. No, well...
Toy Story 3, I think, is the best of the Toy Stories.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. Ken is just...
I will say, I think WALL-E is up there for me.
WALL-E's super good.
WALL-E was very...
relatable. But, no. Monsters, Inc. is also up there.
Monsters, Inc. is up there.
Yes. And Monsters University did a good job, too.
Yeah.
My favorite is The Incredibles.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm going to be like the oldest person there with a bunch of kids, without any kids is what I mean.
Right.
Watching the Incredibles just run in front seat. I got my tickets since September.
Yeah, I think I just thought WALL-E was so good because when I first saw it, I didn't realize that there's no talking for the first 45 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found the statistics about Avatar versus John Carter.
Yeah.
So Avatar cost $237 million.
That's not much.
I thought it was $300 million. Okay.
And then their box office, they made $2.78 billion.
Right.
And then John Carter, their budget was $250 million.
2.78 billion.
Wow.
And their box office that they made after everything was $284. So they made about...
Did you say $284?
$284 million.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
$284 million. So they made a profit of...
they actually made money.
Right.
Okay.
Of $35 million.
That's not.
I think they want it.
So that's a flop.
I think you want it either
right?
double your
double.
You want to double your budget, yeah.
Wow. But you said 2.78 billion for Avatar?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, it got into the billions. Yeah.
So wait, you said 2049 lost 80 million or only made in profit? Are you sure?
So the budget was 250 and their box office totals were 284 million.
Yeah.
So if you take 284
No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about
John Carter.
I'm not talking about
No,
John
he's talking
Carter
about Blade
anymore.
Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
This says estimated loss is what the list says. And it says 80 million. It says 68 through 90 million.
Wow, I thought it made money.
Yeah.
Should have.
That's
Gosh, it's one of the best movies out there this year.
Well, anyway, so we were talking about your favorite Disney Pixar movies. Critter said you said WALL-E.
Okay, WALL-E. I mean, I think that there was no talking for the first not 45 minutes, but the first half an hour. There absolutely was no talking, and I don't know. I can't think of another Disney Pixar film that did that. And does it very well.
Or that many films.
But I also love. Okay, this is what I love about that movie is that it's a cartoon, but you have what's that actor's name who plays the by and large CEO? Do you know who I'm talking? Or the
Oh,
president
gosh.
of By and Large.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I just like I think that it was I thought it was cool how
Wait,
they
you're talking about Fred
incorporated.
Willard?
Yeah. I thought it was cool how they incorporated him into the movie, but he was a human, and I think that like
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I
that was
forgot
cool.
about that.
But I loved it. I think they had good reasoning behind it because you see all the different captains and how they change from being like really skinny and fit to like becoming fatter and fatter. Like I think they did a good job of doing that because they're showing like how much humanity has changed.
That's cool.
And just the fact that
Yeah,
they showed
that's
him as a
cool.
real live human being and not a cartoon, I think just like reinforced the fact that like these humans, like humanity has changed like so much.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome.
No, totally. So you're saying Wall-E. Big Boy saying Toy Story 3?
Toy Story 3 was really good. Like, okay, so the thing about Toy Story 3 that made it awesome is the little details it did.
Yeah.
Like the super small details.
Like the Easter eggs or the
No, like how toys work in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you see Ken come out of Ken's playhouse and he goes down the elevator like stalls in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And that's totally how it does.
Because I bet the animators played with those toys as
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, definitely. Or probably played with them.
While they're
During
animating.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like,
yeah,
okay,
I
how does
bet.
this work? And then they probably did it that way. And
That's-
it was just
That's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
how cool would it be to be an animator?
Oh.
No, like,
gotta be stressful.
also.
I couldn't imagine.
Did you see like the new screen caps from the Incredibles 2 trailer?
No.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they zoom in.
The
Someone zoomed in like on like his shirt, and you
God
can see like
damn.
the fibers.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
It's incredibly detailed. Like
So,
Yes.
anyway, you know Lotso Bear?
yeah,
Lotso Hug Bear? Yeah. So, in the show, they reference a couple of times where, like, man, he smells like strawberries. It's like, they smell it.
Yeah.
Strawberries. So I went to Disney World, and there was Lotso Bears, and I grabbed one and smelled it.
It
It was
smelled like
strawberries. It was strawberries.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like
That's
it's just
weird.
cool how many details Disney does in
Yeah.
general, but they did so many in that movie.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And what you were saying, Critter, I do enjoy the Easter eggs where like isn't like the Pizza Planet truck in every Disney
It's in-
Pixar
it's
movie?
in every
the
Disney-
Toyota
Yeah.
where it only says "Yo" on it. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I love that.
There's that. You usually can see the ball.
The
The
ball,
what?
Yeah.
with the little star.
Oh, with the star on
Yeah.
it.
There's
yeah,
the classroom number that
A113.
A113.
Yeah.
Boo's toy sometimes makes it some places.
Yeah.
and
Which
then
one?
The Boo's like the little alien bear looking
Yeah.
toy that was in
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
from Monsters Inc. They like here's a toy and they're
Oh, are
playing
you
with
serious?
it. Yeah,
That's-
you'll see it a couple places. I think you see
Oh.
it at Brave maybe or something.
I know
like
in
that.
Finding Nemo that there's a scene where it's showing through the glass tank, and you can see all the toys, and one of them's like Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Woody.
that's always cool.
Yeah.
They tend to put like a hint, like they reference their next movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
like,
just gonna say that.
Like there's a moment like in Ratatouille where like he makes a shadow. It looks like a dog. Well, it's Doug from
Up.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah,
that's
Up was
awesome.
the next movie.
And
What?
in Monsters Inc.
Up was good.
yeah.
Up, I forgot about Up.
Up is good.
Hang on. In Monsters Inc., when the little girl leads Sully into her room and she starts handing him a bunch of toys, she hands him a Nemo
Yeah.
doll.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
Finding
I
Nemo
forgot
came
about
out after that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Dude, Up was good. But you said Incredibles.
Yes.
My favorite Disney Pixar might also be The Incredibles.
It's
Oh,
good.
The Incredibles
is good.
and the original Toy Story. But you guys want to know who's right?
What do you mean? Who's
On,
right?
according to IMDb, who has got the best one?
How did-
I
okay.
say, according to IMDb.
Are we
Okay.
talking like
Yeah.
ratings or box office wise? Because box office wise, it's probably gonna be.
Yeah,
like
what are
Cars
they
3.
basing
No,
it off
yeah.
of?
Yeah, no, it's based off of a combination of critics and users who have IMDb.
Yeah,
I could be a movie
Right.
critic if I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yes,
to.
I don't-
we all could. Okay, well, I'm just gonna say
I don't trust them.
this is just what IMDb says. But the best Disney Pixar movie is Wall-E, according to IMDb.
Well, they're right.
It is a
movie critic right
so,
here.
like, who's right? Well, it's Critter.
So
Correct,
yeah,
but IMDb.
It's good. I mean, it has like it has. I mean, I just think it has everything. Like it's got like. I don't know what I mean by everything, but
right. But you know what's weird?
it's got
This is-
humor, but it's also. I mean, it's a love story
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
two robots.
Disney
That's-
Pixar didn't get on here until number 61 on the list.
Oh, it's really interesting. Now I'm thinking about Wall-E. It's really interesting to see like the love story between like the robots with. and,
Yeah.
like, you see like this really like emotional connection with zero facial expression.
I know, and that's why.
That's-
Like Eve has like she has
Right.
like that digital face, that allows her to like frown
Right,
or
they
like.
can't
And
get,
well,
like,
Wally does
But it's
the
it's just her eyes.
It's so
Yeah.
minimal,
It's just
but
yeah.
they did a great job.
Yeah,
of
it's
expressing
super
that much
minimal.
emotion with
Right.
I think it's
just with
amazing.
like movements of eyes, because Wally does a ooh, and then his like eyelids.
Well, no,
are-
that movie too had like, especially with Wally, like the attention to detail was amazing.
Dude,
like
it's
and like
Pixar, man.
whenever his like battery is recharged,
Yeah.
it makes the apple.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
the
it was
apple
good,
sound.
man, yeah.
What
awesome.
was the first Disney Pixar movie?
It was
Toy
Toy
Story.
Story.
Was it Toy Story?
Yeah, it was.
Even Toy Story, like that was what 95?
3,
No, 95.
95.
Even that animation is pretty good. Like
Oh, it's-
Disney Pixar always has begun with like such high standards,
it
and
holds
then
up.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think each film is better than the last because if you look at Finding Nemo, just that scene alone where Nemo is like looking around at the ocean, all the different
Yeah.
like just the way
Yeah.
the water moves
Was
and
the-
stuff.
That's one of the things I saw about Pixar. This is what they like to do is each movie they try to do something that kind of
Different or something.
breaks the convention or like a
Yeah.
new like standard for animation. So for Finding Nemo was animating water. For I think Monsters Inc. it was animating like fur.
The
and-
fur, the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Right.
fur was huge. It was
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
Because
was like,
they did a whole there was
mind
this whole segment on the scene where Sully falls down in the snow,
Crashes
and
the sled, yeah.
yeah, crashes the sled, and the snow is like in his fur, and
Yeah,
the wind is
yeah.
blowing it. They did this whole segment on like how they did that part. It was amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Do you think like animators will like travel around like for Finding Nemo? Do you think any of them like actually threw on some scuba tanks and actually?
Oh,
like,
Absolutely,
definitely,
yeah.
yeah,
Field
they have to.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah, field research.
Just
Dude,
like the
that's so
toys.
cool.
Like they probably had a bunch of toys in there to play for
Oh,
Toy
yeah,
Story.
Yeah.
And
then like
yeah.
even like I think everybody like has to do like that kind of research. Everybody from the writers, the animators, the directors.
I'm sure they bring in marine biologists and
Oh, I'm
marine
sure, yeah.
experts and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You almost
They
have
say
to.
you have to do this. You have to do
Because a lot of audience would go, "Oh, that's wrong. I'm done."
Right.
You know, because there's. there's
I'm
people that
I'm
just-
sure they brought in for Wally probably because that movie had to do a lot with like the environment and
Yeah.
like so I'm sure they
that.
brought
the
in
environmentalists.
you know,
and
They probably
the
do
EPA.
environmentalists and
Yeah.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
leading sources
Yeah.
in robotics to.
Well, that's just like Interstellar. They brought in so many scientists
Yeah.
to make sure
Really?
things are right. Things they had to change a couple of things, you know, because it's a movie. You can't have
Yeah.
everything 100%.
I just saw this fact today about Interstellar about the so when they did the representation of the black hole, they
Yeah.
had to do some more like new animating techniques and processes to the point where like it was so accurate the description of it that it went like I think it went forward to actually being direct references or helping out people for like 4 different actual scientific journals.
Dang,
I
that's
really-
awesome.
Took me
Yeah,
a while
so
to get the
cool.
That
words
is really
out, but
cool.
yeah.
I always appreciate when writers and animators and just artists in general always put a lot into the research.
Yeah.
Like they don't skimp on that.
Well,
Like
I think almost every TV show and movie
you
has
have
to do
to.
that. You have to.
in book,
Yeah.
like
Oh, books
the
too, yeah.
the Martian,
Oh, such a good
the
Oh,
yeah
man.
the writer, what's his name, Andy
Andy
book. Andy
Weir.
Weir.
yeah, I think what he
actually
did
worked
was
for NASA.
yeah, he finished a
Did he
chapter.
really?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
did.
know that. What did he
oh,
do?
Oh, he was a that's a good question. Yeah,
Just
no, he was
making money.
He was he was like a scientist. He did a lot of science stuff, and then he just kind of wrote.
Well,
for fun.
obviously he was a scientist. He worked for NASA.
He was
Well, they'll just
they
bring
have-
in like.
janitors work for NASA.
But it's not the. You don't say, "Oh, I'm part of the NASA team.
I would.
I clean
if
up
I
the
was,
poop."
dude, you're cleaning up after the smartest people in
In
the world. like,
space.
yeah, cleaning up space poop.
Clean up the space poop.
Anyway, so what Andy Weir did, he would write a chapter and then he sent it to NASA and said, "Okay, is this pretty accurate?" And they said, "Yep, keep going," and whatnot. And they don't. No, you need to change
Or
this.
nope, stop
Or nope,
right
nope,
now.
stop right now. There are no flying monkeys in space.
You're never gonna make it, Weir.
We should probably take a quick break so we can reset the recording.
All right,
All right.
we'll be right back. So yeah, we were talking about animators and all the research they have to do.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys what do you guys think is the best animated film? Like or what is the best animation you've
Wait,
seen?
before you get to that,
Okay.
I want to say one thing. Is did you ever hear about the person? You know the show Narcos.
Yes.
Yeah.
The person, the photographer, going into like the places in Mexico and going in there and checking things out. He died.
Whoa.
He died because he got too close to like some cartels and stuff. Like he got.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was killed.
He was killed.
And
He's
they
just-
still didn't stop the show.
Wow.
Like he straight up went in there and you got to some stuff that you shouldn't be getting to.
That'd be an interesting segment to talk about, like actors and film, like people who were killed during like production.
Yeah, I remember I was watching The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and they had Bryan Cranston on because he was in that movie about the guy that basically busted Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
And so, like, that guy, like, he got really close to the Escobars, like, in real life, like, to try to bust them. And he went to the recording that day. He's like, oh, yeah, he's really here, but I can't tell you who he is because he's still in hiding.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, he's here somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you where.
So anyway, animation. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Best animated film?
Like, not the best animated film, because, but the best animation in a movie.
Your
Oh,
Name.
man.
Like, you think?
Your Name by,
Yeah.
Dude, any of
what's it
his
called?
films.
We really need to see this.
Or no. That
It's,
wasn't.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, that wasn't Miyazaki.
Hayao Miyazaki does have a lot of great animation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spirited Away.
But Your Name.
Come on.
A lot of Miyazaki's, man. I haven't seen Your Name though.
It's in my house.
Oh, I'll have to.
We
I'll have
gotta
to
we gotta
watch
do
it.
that as a film talk for one of these, even though it's not a new.
That's
movie.
cool.
Who,
Yeah,
who did
but-
that film? Your
Let
Name?
me look up his name. He's
Yeah.
only had a few films, but Your Name is
Is it anime?
Yep.
Is it okay?
It's anime.
it
Yeah, for sure.
is the most successful movie to come out of Japan.
What's the actual name? It's like.
Kimi no Wa.
Yeah.
Kimi no Nawa.
Yeah.
I know some people would argue Coraline is the
Oh,
best.
get out of here!
Has the best animation.
No.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
No.
No, it's like it's like the same thing that James and the Giant Peach did.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
okay.
It's like the same kind of
the
animation.
same animation. So it's like the night.
director was Makoto Shinkai.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I like Your Name. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Coraline is just
I like Your Name.
Okay.
Nice. I would have to either say Wall-E or Finding Nemo. Just
I think any animation, I think it's always the most recent stuff.
Yeah,
just because
yeah,
it's
just
like
'cause with technology.
technology's going. But for the time, I like what we said. For the time, though, Sully's fur was insane.
yeah.
Actually,
Go ahead.
I mean, I just didn't even mention like going through time.
Yeah.
What I still think is a great use of special effects to this day, and probably one of the best forms of animation. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ooh.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the humans
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the art.
Space
Yeah,
Jam.
for sure.
I mean, Space Jam
did-
also.
Space Jam did a
Dude,
great
Space
job.
Jam.
God, the Monstars blew that lead. Like the
Peace, de la
can't believe it.
Resistance.
It's like the worst. Oh man.
the worst.
Yeah,
Worst
do you
what?
Hey,
call that?
don't hate on Space Jam.
No, I'm
No.
saying that the Monstars, they had like the worst second half of any basketball game ever.
I was like,
It's pretty bad.
you better not be hating on Space Jam
They
right now.
blew it. It's the Monstars and the Falcons are the two worst ones to blow a game.
Oh man. Oh, Falcons. Yeah, that's.
Dude.
What about the Washington Generals?
Yeah. Dude, I thought for some reason I was thinking in my head that Monsters Inc. came out in 2003. That's 2001. And I should have known that because Monsters Inc. and Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone were the two competitors for the number one slot in the box office in
Oh, okay.
2001.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's like the box office has nothing to do with the
How
Emmys,
good-
the Oscars.
The Oscars?
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like if a movie does a great job, it
Dude,
only gets nods for
Michael Bay would be loaded with Oscars.
He would, yeah, he
if
would,
he
he
had
would.
if that were true.
But I understand. What
Transformers
I'm kinda saying
5,
is
no, not 5. Transformers 5 blew it at the box
it's
office.
crazy
but,
that
yeah.
the box office,
Domestic.
the huge box
really?
office movies aren't the ones that are getting awards. Not because that they should get
Yeah.
the awards. It's
Right.
because you think with all that money going in there, the acting would be
Yeah.
highest. The
acting doesn't matter.
I
But like
can-
in movies like Transformers, the acting doesn't matter.
I mean, when you got
They,
yeah,
they don't go to see the
gosh,
acting.
yeah.
They go to see the
Yeah.
things transform and stuff explode.
I can only think of I'm more impressed by like the voice acting of the Transformers than I am with
Yeah.
the-
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
already.
like that's what people.
Autobots roll out.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
just like that. Yeah, man. Eeyore's coming to gather up the gang.
Eeyore.
No, I think the only two movies I can think of were like it was a financial hit as well as Oscar bait was Avatar and Titanic, both
Mad
by James
Max.
Cameron.
Mad Max.
Mad
Oh,
Max.
man.
But it wasn't. I want to call those Oscar bait. You don't.
Yeah, Mad Max
The
was
only
not
ones
Oscar.
that I think you can call Oscar bait, the ones that come out around Oscar time, like
And it's,
November.
and it's a drama with some
It's a drama.
with some A-list celebrities.
Wait,
Or
and-
okay, what do we?
biographical pick
That's what you
that-
That's what you're talking about when you say Oscar bait.
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
Well,
because I was gonna say because Mad Max Fury Road was nominated for what 8 Oscars.
and it won 6.
But I don't think it was like
6.
made for it though.
Right.
You know what I mean? People
No, I
make
can't-
those
right.
movies.
Look at- look at-
Because
come
I feel
out.
like if a movie is made just to win Oscars, it's not going to do well. It's not going to win a whole lot.
Well, you
Well,
think
see-
about something like
I think where the confusion is like, yes, there's movies that we consider Oscar bait because they are really high quality movies, but they strategically release those movies at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because then they're fresh in
Okay,
everybody's mind
yeah,
when the
okay.
nominations
There you go.
happen.
nice.
But yeah, Mad Max came out in May, I think, of
2016,
2015.
2015.
Right. And then
Yes, because it came out the same year as Ex
Yeah.
Machina.
Well,
yeah, and then Gravity also was nominated, and that came out in the middle of.
if you start thinking about it though,
You
like
mind
these
Gravity?
better
Yeah.
box office hits, these better ones that are like higher quality with the acting and the stuff, they're starting to come later. Like they're starting to
Yeah.
come in November.
Yeah.
They're starting to come into September. So I see in the future maybe more comic book, maybe not superhero, but comic book, more pop culture
Yeah.
will start going into the the Oscar stuff, you know, because I think I really
the
do
Dark
think,
Knight was nominated for like 8 Oscars.
except
Do you think
not
that
Best Picture, which
Logan
Yeah.
will be nominated?
Oh
Lucky
yeah,
Logan.
Lo-
Oh no,
it-
Lucky Hogan. I meant
Lucky Hogan.
You're thinking Logan Lucky.
Logan. Lucky.
No,
Hogan. Where did
Logan.
Hogan come from?
Logan.
I don't.
Logan.
Where did
I
the-
understand,
Think
but
of
where does
Hogan-
the,
Yeah, where did
No,
Hogan?
Hogan like
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's
Like,
playing
he-
Wolverine in the
Think of
next
Hogan's
flick.
Heroes.
Hogan's
Yeah,
Heroes,
Hogan's
that's what I'm
Heroes.
talking
All
about.
right, brother, look at my clothes.
No,
No,
Logan might.
I
but
hope-
the
I hope
thing
it does.
is that it came out in February.
Hey, I have a question about Logan.
Yeah,
People
Is it a
remember?
western?
No.
No,
Huh?
I would
No.
consider.
I
it
had
a-
no, because I had this debate with friends of mine. Like, would you classify it as a western?
To me,
No.
it follows a very similar pattern to most Western films.
real quick.
Just
while-
because it follows patterns doesn't mean it's a western. So does Harry Potter. It follows patterns, like he's trying to get revenge.
Well, what
from
kind of
his-
patterns does it follow?
Like he's trying to get revenge from his parents, and he's the chosen one, and all that stuff. You see a lot of that in westerns.
I just want to clarify: Harry is never seeking revenge.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But still,
Read the books.
You're gonna come to me.
But still,
I took a class about Harry Potter in college. You're gonna come to me.
It's
with
true.
this
Say his
weak
revenge.
shit.
He got credits for it.
Something happened to his parents, and then he gets revenge. Not that he's looking for revenge, but he gets revenge for.
Well,
you
he
know.
doesn't do it. He doesn't. Get
Okay,
revenge.
okay. I'm just saying it follows some things that you would see in a lot of westerns.
Hey, if you have an opinion on what classifies as a Western movie, or if you want to chime in on what we're saying, maybe you agree or disagree with what we're saying, you can drop a comment at camppyre.com. That's CAMPPYRE.com. Or you can shoot us a tweet, check us out on Instagram, follow, subscribe to us on YouTube, and like us on Facebook.
You could also say the same thing about Star Wars too. I'm just saying.
True.
A lot of stuff
Star Wars
follows.
follows more of like a samurai film.
Star Wars
Yeah.
is like a.
But
Just because it's with swords, it doesn't mean it's like a samurai film.
Actually, he gets a lot of.
I think.
inspiration.
Okay, here's the thing. I think Star Wars is sort of like a master plot. Do you guys know what like a master plot is?
here we go.
Like Cinderella. Okay, so Cinderella is like the master plot of all master plots, and I think that like Star Wars is a master
Can
plot
you
because-
explain what a master plot is
Okay,
first?
a master plot is like some story that speaks deeply to who you like humanity, I guess, not who you are as a person, but to humanity. And like Cinderella is like when you talk about master plots, that's what's known as the master plot because it was written in like I think 5th century China. It's like one of the oldest stories known to mankind. There's like, and you have all these different like renditions of Cinderella. Like what's the like you have a Cinderella story and you have all these plays that are like adapted Cinderella stories. And I think that Star Wars is some form of master plot because you have a chosen one who like goes on a quest.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter, The Matrix,
Lord of the Rings.
Also, I mean,
They're-
No,
they all center around like a chosen one.
are you saying that's the original?
No.
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
saying
okay,
no.
all right.
No, I'm not saying that.
All right.
No,
I was
I'm
gonna say there's so many
I'm just
chosen
saying,
ones.
I'm just saying that the quote unquote chosen one is a form of a master plot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
That's kind of like one of the things. Also, there's basically every story can be broken down, I think, into one of two categories: fish out of water or coming of age.
Huh. Fish out of water or coming of age. I feel like a lot of those are going to be fish out of water.
Yeah.
Fish out of water meaning.
It's a person who realizes that he's different or special or something, and then has to adapt. Like,
Or
has
is
to,
forced into a world that they're not used to.
yeah.
So name a movie. Any movie.
Scream.
Fish out of water.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
There's some that are like also like there's a great.
I'd say fish out of
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Because,
Fish out- because
when
Jules.
when Sam Jackson
Yeah.
realizes that
Yeah.
there's so much more than this, and
Can we do a couple more?
Misery.
Misery. That's definitely fish out of
oh
water.
yeah,
yeah,
that's it, yeah.
dude, what a great movie. Kathy Bates is my favorite actress. Titanic. Fish out of water because fish.
No pun intended.
Fish in water.
Fish in the water. Cold frozen fish.
Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Harry Potter though is coming of age.
Oh yeah.
It's coming of age, but you
And a fish out of water.
But
because,
it's also
because
yeah,
the first movie is definitely fish out of water
Yeah.
because Harry's all like, "Holy crap!
right. So
I can
basically-
move shit with my mind." Like,
But I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
there you definitely said it when you said there's gray areas because there's a lot of movies or directors that
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
in between those lines
Yeah.
to the point. But I
Yeah.
understand, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
We should probably talk about
hang on.
Justice League.
There's one thing that I want to talk about real quick before we
Okay.
get into Justice League. Critter brought up the Western, so that reminds me, I want to start a new thing on the podcast or film camp for whatnot. This is the underrated or overlooked film of the week, and this week's film that's underrated or overlooked is Bone Tomahawk. That is a Western horror starring Kurt
So
Russell
good.
and Matthew Fox. Dynamite
No,
cast.
no, it's not a joke.
Kind of starts off with kind of a crime movie, kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, and then it takes a turn for the horror scary style. Bone Tomahawk.
kind
You
of
got
like From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn. That's right. Yeah, that's what I used.
So-
Because that's exactly what From Dusk Till Dawn
It's
did.
it was so good.
How
The
old is
acting
it? How
and
old is it?
2015. Mad Max covered it up completely. Yeah, but
which is fair. I mean,
it's Richard Jenkins, Kurt Russell, Matthew
Fox.
Fox, and the dude from Insidious. What was his name?
they were all like
Richard
like,
Jenkins.
incredible.
I feel like, and Patrick Wilson.
Really?
Richard Jenkins knocked
should
out
have
of-
gotten a nod for best
What's it
supporting
called?
actor.
What's it called?
Bone Tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk.
It is a
I'm gonna check
Western-
it
like
out.
a tomahawk
made
made
out
out
of-
of bone.
It is a Western.
Bone
I
tomahawk.
understand.
It's a Western
All
horror
right, I just want to
movie.
make sure.
So a
Hang on.
tomahawk is like an axe.
Oh.
Just
Anyway, about westerns.
fair warning. This is not a movie for the faint of heart.
No. No,
Not a movie for the faint of heart.
Also, not a movie to watch if you're sick.
Yes.
do you mean?
Fantastic movie. Definitely check it out.
Like-
Kurt Russell. That's Bone Tomahawk. Fantastic. But now, to get into the meat of...
Wait,
yeah.
before that.
Oh, God.
Can I ask something? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so every time we do these campfire, blah, blah, blahs, we do, I'm sorry, the movie talks.
Film
right?
camp.
talk.
Film
Film
camp.
camp.
Yeah. So when we do film camps, we talk about one specific movie, and that's Justice League, right?
Every time, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we
Justice
do
League
one
every
where
time.
all the people, yeah, Justice League every single time. All the people here watch a movie they've never seen before. One that maybe other people have seen.
So kind of like a book club, kind of.
Yeah, kind of
Hey,
discuss
there you
this
go.
movie and this,
Yeah.
and then you can find parallels or whatever.
Yeah, we
I think
should.
that'd be fun.
We should do
Damn.
that. We should do it like movies that we can find easily on like Netflix and
Yeah,
Hulu.
for
For
sure,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, and then because like then we can have like the viewers even
Right.
join in on that. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, in 2 weeks we're gonna be watching.
You're gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
It's a
pretty
good
cool.
idea.
Yeah.
All right, so Justice League.
Anyways, so now to get into the meat of this week's film camp, Justice League. Alex, Big Boy, and myself all saw it. Christian did not, Critter, but it's okay. He is somewhat familiar with
What
the
am I
DC
supposed to
universe.
talk about?
It's all right. You can just chime in and ask questions.
Yeah.
But okay, so to start this off, first,
I'm not gonna see it.
Start us off. No, I'm not gonna see it at all.
initial reactions.
Well, my initial reaction. Well, I texted you 24 hours after we saw it. Hey, I just remembered that we saw Justice League last night.
Alex,
That's
he
the impression it left on
He
me.
completely
Forgot
forgot the next day that we saw it. And we saw it at 6 p.m.
Yeah, it wasn't
like we were tired. Then we saw the midnight showing.
And we were in D-Box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the fun movie chairs.
I spilled my drink because of it.
My popcorn's everywhere.
Oh, God.
God, those chairs are fun.
This is what I said to you when we walked out. I thought that the stakes were not that high.
No.
Like, there didn't seem to be any real threat or danger. And granted, I'm sure the villain was extremely powerful, and he was. Yeah. But they didn't really... I didn't care. I guess it was because they didn't really show humanity.
I kind of like that.
Who was the villain?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Yeah. He is
like the classic novel Steppenwolf.
No, not even close.
Okay, so every single film, and I think you guys talked about this in Thor, right? Every single film that you see when it's superheroes, it's got to balance humanity. And oh my gosh, we're gonna die! And here comes a city; it's blown up. Every single one. So to see a villain happen behind the scenes is not bad to my standards. It's like okay and it's understandable what he wanted. He wanted to conquer, and he wanted to come back and what did he say? He wanted to get revenge for them beating him the first time, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, and he also needed to prove himself. That way, he wanted to be exiled more in dark side.
Back
in the Empire.
Exactly. So that was actual like good motivation. Yeah. Like what I'm looking for a villain.
Revenge, yeah.
Is good motivation, and then the fact that it happened behind the scenes was kind of cool because then it's not like everybody's like, oh, did you see that city blow up? And then they have to talk about how they rebuild the city and how they fix. You know what I mean?
I get that, but at the same time, like he had like the MacGuffin in this one. The mother boxes.
Yeah.
Right. That was supposed to be like, oh, when it comes together and activates, the world's going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And like you didn't get those stakes really, like for something that important.
I understand it. Yeah.
We got to see like the one scared Russian family.
Which I didn't care about them.
Yeah, that was weird. And why was the villain setting up his
Russian family?
Yeah, who cares about?
Why was all that happening in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, but they explained that because that was where a nuclear kind of fallout was. So
was it okay? I was
kind of like a Chernobyl disaster.
We were tossing a few back during the movie.
Yeah. But they had this like little part that fixated on a bug spray.
Yeah,
it's like my bug spray. I was like, oh, she's gonna figure out how to kill them. But no, absolutely not.
She figured out,
there's no reason why that family was in there. I didn't care about that family.
Who did you guys think was the weakest actor / character in the movie?
Batman.
If there was.
No.
You think?
No.
He did not want to be there. You could tell Ben Affleck did not want to be there at all.
I could see where you're coming from, but I wouldn't say he's the weakest. I love Ben Affleck as Batman though.
No, you have great justification of why Ben Affleck is a great Batman.
I do?
Yes. You told me. You son of a bitch, make me look stupid. Okay. All right. Big Boy said a couple years ago when Dawn of Justice came out and everyone was like, Ben Affleck's going to butcher Batman. He's going to tear him up. You said that no. Ben Affleck is you could say he's kind of cocky. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's an actor. He's a A-list celebrity. He's top of the charts, whatnot. Bruce Wayne, cocky millionaire, whatnot. Batman.
Oh, you talking about before the movie came out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then so Bruce Wayne, the cocky, millionaire. He's young. He's full of himself, whatnot. Like Ben Affleck, but then Batman is all about protecting humanity. Putting others first and whatnot. And you had a great justification of why Ben Affleck could play a great Batman.
And don't get me wrong, I loved him as Batman in Batman v Superman.
He's probably the best part of that whole movie.
And the best part of that whole movie is the warehouse fight scene.
Okay, so
in this movie, you could tell he didn't want to be here. None of the fight scenes were of that caliber. It was boring.
He was like running to his gadgets all the time, which is something that he does.
Right, yeah.
He does, but not his tank. You know what I mean? You never see Batman in the animated universe or animated series or in the comics just go, all right, I gotta go to my tank right now.
Yeah. And there was I feel like there's a small moment in the movie where they kind of acknowledge that Batman is only a human, and there's not much he has his limits because
My superpowers is I'm rich.
it was when
Just how he said it.
I'm rich. I think it was Wonder Woman saw him. Yeah. So what's your superpower? I'm rich.
But okay,
It was when Wonder Woman walked in on him in his bedroom and he's changing and he's bruised all over his
Nice.
body.
I thought that was cool though.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too.
Yeah, because she saw how human he actually was.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because like everyone else there, like they have superpowers and everything, and he's putting himself out there. He's the one that will die the easiest, but it looks like he's the one putting the
I'm
most
realizing
effort
your
forward.
question, the weakest actor in it. I can see where you're saying it because
Right.
I can totally see that. But I would say that in the Batman vs Superman movie, Superman was nothing. Like I didn't care about Superman in that.
I've
In
never
this
cared about
one,
Superman.
in this one, I felt like he was getting his own. Like he was getting like you understand that Superman is the strongest one.
Yeah,
and
spoiler
how-
alert, Superman comes back to life.
And how
You didn't figure that out.
powerful
a lot
he is.
sooner than you would think.
Yeah, I would agree, but still, you know what I'm talking about? How strong he took on the whole Justice League, even though they weren't really a team.
Okay,
then.
that was one of the
Now,
coolest moments.
while we're getting while we're here,
yes.
that was my favorite scene of the movie when Superman when it shows Flash running behind him, and then when his eye just kind of turned and saw
Well,
him.
the
and then
beauty
he
about
turned.
that is
yeah.
is how they did it. So, Flash, the whole just to describe it to you,
Please
the
do.
whole time, every time Flash was seen using his powers, he is way faster than everybody. He was the way they do the camera work. He was moving normal speed like how we would,
Okay.
but everybody else was
Right,
like,
yeah, that's how
stop.
they. I mean, that's how they usually
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Like that's like the Quicksilver
And
scenes.
Yeah,
everything,
and
everything has a
X-Men.
blue tint.
Blue tint,
about it.
yeah, and like the
So-
yeah.
The one time when Superman, okay, don't.
Just mute it. Okay, while he's showing
Yeah,
that.
while-
So yeah,
watching this.
while he's showing them, while Superman is fighting the whole Justice League after he wakes up and becomes animalistic almost. The Flash is moving and he's used to no one being able to see him.
Yeah.
And then you see his eyes move.
Oh
and
And
man!
catch his
Yeah, isn't that
eye
crazy?
in normal speed.
Wait, play that again. I gotta see.
See,
it.
and
Yeah, actually,
if,
I want to see it again.
yeah, if anybody,
Wow, so he's facing like the entire team right now.
he's
Yeah.
facing all of them
And so Flash is trying to run behind him,
to try to get the
and Superman's facing all of
to
them,
flank him.
and then you see Superman eye boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So,
amazing.
Anybody, if anybody who hasn't seen that movie is watching this, you got at least, I mean, you see it on YouTube right now. At
Right.
least check it out because it is so cool.
That's
it's
amazing.
the best
Yeah,
part of the
that
movie.
was so cool.
Oh,
But yeah, like
And Flash is like, what
yeah.
the
yeah,
hell?
he's like,
Yeah.
what?
He can see me.
Still, you could say even though in the ending of the movie, they say who's faster, Flash was still fast enough to dodge all of Superman's punches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was slow enough where he could dodge his punches. So I gotta say Flash is faster. At least his reflexes.
that's just
are.
always like a recurring thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But what
Excuse me.
was all the other things that I was just thinking of? Oh, the post-credit scene. We didn't talk
Yeah.
about
Well, which one?
that.
The
Two post-credit scenes.
Well, one is
There-
just him.
there's one where they play a couple credits and then it shows, a kind of a funny thing. And this one was Flash and Superman
trying to
race, see who was the fastest. And Flash
coast?
like,
I
super
went to the
cool.
Pacific. He's like, I've never been to the Pacific. And then that's it.
yes,
Yeah.
they race. And while we're on it, who is faster?
Flash.
Flash. Okay.
Flash technically has the potential to be faster.
Yeah. But then the post credit scene at the end at the end of all the credits, it showed Jesse Eisenberg.
It showed like
Lex
basically
Luthor.
they were like at like the insane asylum prison where he was staying at, and they're like, "Come on, like Luthor, get out of there!" And it's not him; he's gone. You're like, "Oh no, he escaped." And then it cuts to a person on a speedboat, and you can see like some like ribbon flying off, and
And-
instantly I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Any
like,
any non super fan or maybe not even super fan, any non
any casuals.
any casuals would be like Deadpool.
But like,
Okay, I didn't do that.
no, but like you guys saw me, I was like,
yeah,
Dude,
yeah, dude.
I knew something was up.
it was
It's like,
Deathstroke.
okay,
Deathstroke
It was
is
Deathstroke.
Yes.
sick.
I knew that. Okay, here you go. I had a feeling that Legion of Doom was coming up. I had something to do. Okay, Legion of Doom. They're gonna give some sort of
I
nod to
didn't know
that.
that. That was kind of cool when they announced it.
Well, the second that cutscene and itself, like, okay, here we go, Legion of Doom. But I had I could not.
Some kind of Legion of Doom or something.
I could not.
Oh, some kind of suicide.
With a potsies.
But
yeah,
I would say this to back up all the casuals out there that would say Deadpool. Deadpool is the same creator that made Deadpool made Deathstroke with his Seth MacFarlane.
Yep.
And
Not Seth MacFarlane.
What?
Was it Seth MacFarlane?
Todd McFarlane.
I was going to say
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, yeah.
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Great action.
I was like,
no,
awesome
yeah.
action figures.
Really, yeah.
So the creator of Spawn, he did an awesome run when he drew Spider-Man, and I think he drew Hulk as well, which is really good. Anyway, he created both. He was in DC for most of the time, and then he got moved to Marvel, but he still wanted to draw Deathstroke, so he made Deadpool, and that's how Deadpool. So Slade Wilson is the name of Deathstroke. Wade Wilson is the name of
Shut
Deadpool.
up.
So
should we
take one more quick break?
Sure. All right, so we're just about to wrap up here, but any closing thoughts then?
Not now.
On Justice League or the DC universe then?
I'm nervous.
For what?
Just the future of the DC universe, the DC cinematic universe.
well, you think with the flop, do you think they'll really continue it?
I think they
Like, if they're not making money with their big money maker, are they going
That's
to
true.
really make more movies?
They're gonna make more money.
They that's a good point because the Divergent series, they did not make the last movie because it was a flop.
Wait, was Divergent? Is that DC?
No.
I was like,
I'm
what?
just saying.
Hey, see that chair right there? Yeah, sit on that one.
I'm just saying movie.
Hey, go in there and shut up.
Like movie, trilogies or whatever
Quadrilogy.
series, yeah, whatever. If it's not making money, they're gonna scrap it. And so the third movie of the Divergent, it was not made, and I'm pretty sure Maze Runner might even be.
Oh, Maze Runner. The
I don't know.
the
books were
or
better.
whatever.
Books were way better.
I don't know if they're gonna make the Death Cure.
Dude, the original, they're so stupid. I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
original
know.
Maze Runner, the helicopters picked them up. That didn't happen in the book. Buses picked them up. Because if you had a
What's the difference between
helicopter,
a helicopter and a bus? It's
Well,
like
one's a
it's like
land-
it's just. Well, I understand
land
the
vehicle,
difference,
one's
but
a-
why is that such a big deal?
because
Before we get
read the book.
yeah,
No.
just read the book. Don't get sidetracked. But yeah. So you're nervous. Do you think that they're gonna keep making them? Do you
I
think
think they're going to try to make
I mean,
two more.
Aquaman has to be made? I thought it was already in production.
I mean, that doesn't mean they just won't stop.
You want to scrap it?
Yeah, they can scrap it still.
We didn't really talk about him that much. What did you think of Aquaman?
Uh,
What did you think of the individual?
I understand what
heroes?
they're trying to do with him. It was like a punk kid, kind of, but he doesn't look like a kid. So why would he act like
I
he's
was
a
excited
grown-ass
at first
man.
for like the surfer bro.
Yeah.
Like Aquaman, it was an interesting take. I thought,
Yeah.
especially Jason Momoa being a Pacific Islander. It was an interesting spin. I thought, but it got old really quick.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah. He should have just been stoic, cool, Aquaman. Just like not like, all right, guys, let's go.
I make the knife.
I'll make the fish. I wish that I wish the Aquaman's movie would have come out before Justice League, because then maybe you could have appreciated.
But they couldn't make the movie. It's like they try to get that money. I'm glad that it failed on them.
Yes.
I'm glad it flopped because that shows them do not rush stuff, because this movie, in my books, was rushed.
If they would have,
Yeah.
waited maybe 2 more years to make this movie,
Yes.
it would have been so much better.
Oh my gosh. Someone also came up to me, or didn't just randomly come up to me. He's like, hey, listen to this fact. No, no, someone was saying
Also,
that,
give me your wallet.
you know what, because they were like, I'm bugging you.
I give you a movie trivia, then I take your wallet.
They said, you know what, this movie probably would be, everybody would probably like this movie if it came out before Avengers. And
No.
well, the thing was, it was rushed and stuff. But the thing is now that all superhero films are becoming the same thing over and over, bad guy is bad, good guys fail against fighting him, good guys come back, beat him. That's how you make a superhero movie nowadays. So
I'm
I
actually
understand
gonna-
where there.
I'm gonna actually argue that point. That's
Okay.
how it used to be. Anymore, it's like good guy is strong, bad guy shows up is equally strong. Good guy needs to get stronger.
That's almost the same thing I said.
I know, but it's not
That's-
like it's not anymore than like having to like rebuild, like not having to like. Before it was like superhero, they appear. Bad guy, they appear. Bad guy beats them, they have to go and train, like have to get themselves better, or like something like that. Now it's like they're on par with each other at the very beginning.
Sometimes, I mean, that's kind of how Thor was, but actually, Hela, was that her name?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, she whooped his ass.
Well, yeah, because he's a more powerful guy.
Yeah, and then he got a friend, kind of like learned about himself a little bit through this thing, and then came back. Yeah. It's becoming the same stuff.
But that one was a coming of age story.
Not fish on the water.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh,
Ball circle.
Ball circle. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's an interesting time. It's going to be interesting to see how superhero movies go. It's very heavily in the market is heavily filled with superhero movies right now. We need something to break the mold. Like,
I mean, I thought Logan was a great mold breaker.
thing is, you would think a lot of them would go, "Oh, okay, Logan's different.
so is Deadpool.
So let's
Deadpool is different.
Deadpool is a little different, but
DC needs a mold breaker.
Or Marvel and
DC's Mold Breaker was their third movie, though.
well, the thing
The
is,
Suicide Squad.
technically, Deadpool.
You think so?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Technically,
Wasn't as successful,
Deadpool and Logan isn't really Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They're not at
so,
all.
yeah, they're not really, but you know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
not at all.
Oh yeah.
I'm just talking
but-
superhero movies in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. The thing is that they need Marvel Cinematic Universe needs a mold breaker too. They kind of did it with I'm sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy, but still they did the thing where they got beat by the villain. They do all this stuff.
Yeah.
They argue with each other and come back, and
I think another good mold breaker, which this is gonna probably be an unpopular opinion for Marvel movies, was Ant-Man. Because if you go in watching that thinking this is a superhero movie, you're gonna be kind of disappointed. If you go in thinking though this is a heist film, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Because now it's not a superhero movie; it's a heist movie in a superhero world.
I disagree just a tad with you, just because it does have the same elements and the same story progression as the other ones. But yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
This has really become heavy on us. We should let them talk.
I know. Go
No,
ahead,
I mean-
talk to it. Say something.
No,
Critters.
Something.
I was
Back
I
to
was
us.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was intrigued in your guys' conversation. I mean, you and I already talked about this. If you went in thinking that Ant-Man was a superhero, you'd be disappointed. Kind of like how I went in to see Get Out thinking it was a horror, and I
Right.
should have thought it was a thriller.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed with Get Out because I thought it'd be more horror and less thriller.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
and that also happened to me earlier this year when I saw La La Land. I had no idea it was a musical.
Really?
Yeah.
I was sitting there, like, the first opening number happened. I was like, is it a musical? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a
Did you
fun-
like that? Did you
I
like
did.
it?
No.
I did like it.
I love
and
that
here and
movie.
here's why. I enjoyed I had to think a lot about, like, after I saw it, I had to think, okay, that's fine. But after I saw it, I had to think a lot about, like, did I enjoy that movie or did I not enjoy the movie? And I liked it just because of, like, for lack of a better term, the vibes it gave me. Like, in terms of, because I know the director's, like, one of his biggest goals is to go back to the olden days of film.
The golden age of cinema.
Yeah, the golden age of cinema. That's what he was
okay.
going
Yeah.
for. And, like, if you see it from that point of view,
Yeah, it
it's
felt like
really,
a film from
really,
like the
really
1950s.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I hear, even though La La
Yeah.
Land is not DC, it's Marvel. Just kidding. let me hear why you don't like it.
Yeah, why do you
Because
not like
I
it?
love the film.
I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't think the music was that catchy. I loved the dancing.
Oh, I thought the movie was super catchy. Music.
I like for the first time because dancing is just one of those things that I don't really pay attention to. You know, I care more about the music, but this one is like, all right, dancing's pretty cool. Music, I didn't think it was all that catchy. I didn't really care about the characters.
See,
Yeah,
I feel like, okay,
It was also. Okay, I've seen Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. I've seen them on screen together before. I thought it was nice the first time I saw them, and I don't know. If we're getting more personal, I saw that movie like right when I was moving out of Chicago, and frankly, I was fed up with the whole wannabe actor showbiz for a moment. So maybe I'm just being a little biased here.
One of the things that I really liked was the ending. Was that you can still have the happy ending
yes.
where you don't have to end up with each other.
Absolutely.
I did like the ending.
But here's the other thing I liked about the ending was that I think especially with and again I don't know about like Hollywood and like what that all has to do. But what I liked about the ending was like they each got what they wanted, but they had to sacrifice something huge to get
what I want to know. I understand that they both sacrificed something huge.
Yeah.
But let's say like they kind of like sacrifice the relationship so they can both pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
But in like that kind of like what if montage, it's like she pursues her dream. She becomes. It's like the exact same thing for her. It's that he doesn't get his.
But
thing.
that's their dream. So maybe that's not really.
Right. But like what I'm saying is like what in either of those scenarios, what is she losing besides him?
Okay. So in. Gosh. That's the thing that you don't know. She didn't know. So maybe that was the truth. Maybe that was what would happen. So she would have still gotten the film or whatever. But they didn't know that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know really how to totally answer your question. But
here's the thing that I enjoyed most about it. I'll be completely honest. I'm sick. I'm sort of fed up with like all these superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like just being honest, like just because like it's like every other film that comes out nowadays. It's like another superhero film. Like I don't like I've just lost interest.
Yeah.
And like La La Land was something entirely different. Like it was a musical first of all, but it was also like a modern-esque musical.
Yeah, well, they talked more about jazz than they did.
Oh my gosh, the jazz! I loved the jazz component of that film.
For a second, I thought you were like making fun of like, oh yeah, the jazz.
The jazz.
No, and like
the jazz.
I thought that. I mean, I also thought that the acting was.
The acting was
very.
I didn't think the
very
acting
good.
was bad. No.
One of the things I heard a lot of people say was they didn't like Emma Stone's singing voice.
I heard that too. Yeah.
I disagree. The way that she did it was perfect because she was very timid. She was not confident in herself.
Yep.
And during her audition, she started singing confidently. That's when she was like, I can do this. You can tell that was a major character shift.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that was a conscious choice the entire film.
Also, if you're going to talk about that too, it's like, sure, these are average singing voices anyway. They're not
right as Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone as their actors.
Yeah, they're not saying that they're singers.
I know. Yeah.
No.
He's I'm sorry. He's a he's a pianist, and she is an actor. He's a penis. Yes, he is an organ.
Yes.
Is.
Okay.
He plays an organ.
Plays an organ. No. But no. So he's a pianist. So they're not really singers. So if they sing bad, it's.
Yeah.
It's legit,
That's what I loved about it. It's like it was so, I guess raw, kind of, in the sense that like that's not what they do. They don't sing, and they don't really dance either, which is like unconventional for musicals.
What's the director's name? What's his name?
I'm not sure, but he did Whiplash also.
Yeah, so
he did Whiplash.
And he did La La Land, so he's the guy to watch.
Whiplash.
Honestly.
He has a new movie coming
One
out.
of the best.
Oh, we got to see it.
Is it about Armstrong?
The Greatest Showman. It has Hugh Jackman in it.
That's him?
Yeah, I heard
that's also going to be musical.
Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron.
I also heard he was going to do like a Armstrong movie, like about
Louis Armstrong?
Lance Armstrong.
Oh,
Lance Armstrong?
Really?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong? No, I thought it was Lance.
The bicyclist or the astronaut?
The bicyclist.
Or the trumpeter.
Oh, really?
No,
okay, so
that
is Lance Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong was the first cyclist to play trumpet on the moon.
Oh!
Let me see here.
Damien
But
Chazelle.
now that I think, I swear I heard Lance, but it might have been Louis just because how much into jazz he is.
Yeah,
so
it's got to be Louis Armstrong.
It's got because the whole time I was thinking Lance, but now I'm thinking Louis.
Oh man,
trying to look it up.
Scroll down.
Yeah. Oh.
10
Wow.
Cloverfield Lane.
He wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane.
And for you to say that it wasn't catchy, dude, City of Stars is super catchy.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't write. There's somebody from La La Land that's connected to
J.K.
The
Simmons.
Greatest Showman. I think it's maybe the guy who did the music.
Oh, the little
restaurant.
cameo.
Yeah,
And,
dude,
that
was
was so good. And he
awesome.
was like, "Play the charts. Come on, just play this.
Yeah.
Don't get too crazy. Just play
Bring
the
me
charts."
pictures of Spider-Man. Oh, we didn't talk about him being Commissioner Gordon.
No, we didn't.
Well,
he wasn't in it a whole lot in Justice League.
I thought he was a good Commissioner Gordon.
He was Commissioner Gordon in Justice
for like
League?
3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons. Well, yeah, he's
Let's
Commissioner
go back
Gordon.
to DC and all that because that's what the podcast was.
Well, we should
originally
should
about.
probably wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
What is the relation between
final thoughts on Justice League or the DC universe.
I think the DC universe is going to be kaput in a little bit in probably 5 years. I really think they're
5
gonna...
years? You're giving them some extra time.
Yeah, because I think once Aquaman bombs, then they'll go.
You think Aquaman's gonna bomb?
Seeing that Justice League, their biggest film,
Okay,
you
so
know.
he was the lyricist from La La Land. That did
Okay.
the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So
Sorry.
because
good.
Justice League bombed, you know, like it's got all of the characters in it. That bombed, so I think Aquaman will.
Do you think Flash getting his own movie?
Yeah, they're
Is
all
that
getting their own.
and that's
But
gonna bomb?
the
You think
thing
they're all
is-
gonna bomb.
No, because there's something that's there that's called the Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
That could change
everything.
everything.
They have the potential to change
Yes,
everything.
just like how
It's the biggest retcon to happen in movie history.
I wouldn't
recently,
agree with
if it
that
happened.
just because of
I mean, they have the potential to do the biggest retcon.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What's the name? Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
so.
No, I kind of know what you're talking about.
I told you about it after the movie.
yeah.
So
Did you say? Okay, never mind. That's a stupid topic. I was gonna say it bothers me that they call it the Flashpoint paradox when it's not a paradox because a paradox is an impossibility.
oh, just a minute. Well, it's a paradox to
It's
our
a-
minds.
It's an event.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
awesome.
that's just from a physics standpoint.
Flashpoint.
Quantum physics.
Dude.
Anyways,
Okay. We should,
anything else?
Wait a second. So if they do the Flashpoint, that means Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be Batman, right?
I thought. Oh, I was thinking of.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Because in the story, his
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
No, you're
would be
right. Yeah,
Batman.
you're right.
Yeah.
That'd be a sick Batman.
Critter looks really uninterested.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I was thinking of.
I got a lot to say
about.
about him, but that'll have to wait.
There was. God, who was the guy that hosted Ripley's Believe It or Not? Dean Cain.
Oh, I don't.
He played. He played Superman on the TV show
Oh.
Shut up.
Lois and Clark. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So Dean Cain was Superman. Okay, so what are we doing?
Anyways,
What are we doing next?
thank you for watching this week's film camp. Man, we touched
So we're finishing
a
with
lot
that?
of stuff. Did you have something else to
We're ending
say?
on Dean Cain.
Okay.
No, we're ending on Dean Cain.
we don't need to end on him.
Well, I just want to say that the movie was, to me, was okay, but the more I think about it, it's bad.
I had
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
I had low expectations that it didn't meet.
Yeah, I know more about Marvel than I do about DC. I was walking in hoping to see at least some cool action scenes, and I guess I thought DC. I think what DC tries to do, is I think. What the fuck you guys do?
His chair's messing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my chair is broken.
Oh, okay. I think DC tries to get a little deeper with the movies. It tries to put more across, whereas Marvel likes to not. And this is nothing against Marvel, but Marvel goes for the more comedy, just action films, just more entertainment. But DC just tries to get a little deeper with the stuff.
They
So
tried a little comedy, and
I-
it was like,
they did, yeah. It's like, all right,
It felt awkward.
it's like DC, you know your job, do it.
get dark and
But,
stop being funny. 'Cause
Yeah,
you-
I don't know. We'll see if that cutscene ever does get made into a movie.
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, like you said, the more I think about it, the more I do not like it. But that one scene with
one
Flash
moment.
and Superman was amazing.
that was
go
like
see it.
One of my favorite superhero
Go see that
scenes.
one scene.
Yeah, go see that one scene.
Go to
If you're
YouTube.
If
and
you're
see
gonna
it.
if you're gonna go see Justice League, please do it on like a matinee. Do not pay full price, please.
Wait a
or
second.
pay full price, but if the theater sells a beer,
Are we not going to talk about
Get
his CGI mustache at all?
Oh god. Yeah, I don't think we really need to talk about
Okay, all right.
CGI mustache. Anyways, next week, Film Camp, we're going to be seeing Akira, which is not a movie that's in theaters now. It's already come out.
The beauty about this movie is that you would be able, if you want to watch it before our podcast about it,
so
you would be able to see it on. Is it on Netflix or Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Yes.
Hulu. Okay.
But you can watch it. You can tweet at us during. You can watch it before the podcast. You can also send us messages on camppyre.com. And while we're at it, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. But Akira, we're also probably talking about
a lot of
anime.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki, he did Spirited Away. And
right.
And then we'll probably Ghost of the Shell. We'll probably talk about
and Your Name, which I keep bringing up. But
Your Name.
But just to give you some idea of Akira, it's from 1988. It's an older film.
Yes.
It's very good.
Anyways, any closing thoughts about anything in the film universe at all?
Blending those yams.
What did you just say?
What?
Blending those yams.
Blending those yams.
See, now they wouldn't know what that means.
No, now they can't because they just
see you next time.
Content.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call synergy and cross promotion.
Synergy. Remember what?
Do you want to do it?
What, you two are gonna say something?
No, he wants to sing. Blending those yams.
Okay, real quick. Akira, Bone Tomahawk. Watch them both.
Well, we're not going to talk about Bone Tomahawk.
Well, we won't.
Also, if you're looking for a fun time, just go to YouTube and look up Slippery Stairs.
Do it. Hint, hint.
Oh my gosh.
And be sure to check out our challenges that will be coming soon. Anyways, gentlemen, it's blending those yams.
A 1, 2, 3. Blending those yams.